Welcome to Guided Life, where we meet our personal guidance team and learn how to work with our unseen crew of spiritual sidekicks. Your guides are ready and waiting for you to tap into their wisdom, help, and build the life you truly want. Host Shannon Ratay is a life and career coach, angel messenger, and medium who is known for her unique gifts of delivering messages from our collective team, including angels, fairies, and other helpers. Shannon leads you through each episode with spiritual downloads, energetic transmissions, powerful visualizations, and more, helping you tap into your own tuition to strengthen your confidence and connection. Shannon's calling is to empower you to create an extraordinary life. And now, here's your host of Guided Life, Shannon Ratay.
Hi everyone, I'm Shannon Ratay. I am your host of Guided Life. Thank you so much for your patience. Unbeknownst to you, I actually started the show. I went live and it didn't work. We had a little bit of some technical difficulties. So I was saying hello to all of you. I had actually started, and then we discovered that it didn't actually work. So I am here now, and I really do appreciate you sticking around and waiting as we give this another go. Hopefully second time is the charm. So yeah, every month we get together to get to know one member of your guidance team more closely. Build that relationship with them because they do. They want to be in touch with us. They want to be working with us. And today we are going to be taking this opportunity to get to know our main guide. So that main character energy of our head guide. And we'll talk a little bit more about what that means. But in the meantime, I'm going to say some hellos and thank all of you for sticking around and being here. Hi, Bernadette. You were first in the comments today, and I really do appreciate you being here. And it was really lovely. I got a chance to know you a little bit better yesterday during Kelly's show, Psychic Hour. And so I'm delighted to see you here again today. Hello, Jeffrey. Hello, Medium Jennifer Rose. Thank you for being here. For those of you that were just on messages from the Enchanted Realm, Medium Jennifer Rose and myself and Fran all had a fantastic time. It is Fran's birthday, and so we celebrated Fran's birthday on the show. There was chocolate cake. There was celebration. There was strippers, just talk of strippers, but we decided we're going to do it again next year and hopefully in person. And so we had a great old time. Hello to Holistic Harmonies, Ms. Fran. Hello. Hello, Suze. Hello. Who else did I see in there? I saw Labyrinthian Criterion, always delight to have you here. Hi, Carol, welcome back. Hi, Jeffrey, welcome back. Me and my shadow, I might say your name twice. Hi, Dolores. Hi, Kels, all the way from New Zealand. How exciting. Hello, Kelly Ann. Jennifer McCormick is back. Always love it when I have the Jennifers. Thank you for being here, Jennifer McCormick. Hello, Carol Johnson. You're right. There was a lot of sugar, and I am still riding that sugar high happily. Yeah, sugar is often tasty and delicious, and especially in chocolate form. Welcome, Amanda. So good to see you. Hi, Dolores. Happy summer solstice to you. You're exactly right. We were celebrating summer solstice. We were celebrating Queen Fran's birthday in our last show. And we are also doing a little celebration of Father's Day as well for those of you that celebrate and observe. Yeah, it was a fabulous party. And hopefully we can continue to ride the sugar high and ride all the good vibes right on into guided life. So, what we're up to today is we are going to be talking about our main guide, the head honcho, the top dog, and we'll be talking a little bit about their role and what my experience of working with our main guides has been. From there, what we're going to do is we are going to go into a grounding, just sort of a grounding exercise. And then from that grounding exercise, it really takes about 5-10 minutes. From there, I'm going to do an energetic transmission. And that's where my body and system shares what it knows directly with your body and system. So, an energetic transmission of the information, that shortcut of teaching and sharing information and resources. After I do the energetic transmission, we'll then move into a guided visualization, lasts about 10 minutes long, where you'll get the chance to connect yourself with your main guide. That guided visualization, also about 10 minutes long. And when we're done, we'll share what we learned, as well as possibly do some readings. Most often, those readings end up being focused and more centered around the topic of the day, the main guides. But you never know who exactly is. We never know who exactly is going to show up and come around for the readings. So that hopefully gives you a little bit of a plan for today. And it allows you to get prepared, to know that there's going to be some meditation, there's going to be some grounding. So if you can, get yourself set up and prepared so that you too can participate in the visualization. It often helps if you're in a relaxed space or you're in a place that you're comfortable and it's quiet to be able to do that. Ooh, we've got some more people in the house. Hello, Vivian. Aloha. Thank you for being here. And Charlene, welcome back. I know you two were, both of you were in messages from the Enchanted Realms. So glad to have you here today. Anyway, yep, and I'm just taking a moment and doing some of my energetic practices. I'll just share. One of the things I try really hard to do is when I talk, I try really hard to do a thing called broadbanding. So making sure that my voice is projecting out at all of the different frequencies. I tend to have a bit of a high tone. So making sure, and this is not something that you hear, it's something that's more energetic, but making sure I find the people who broadcast nice and low and find the people who broadcast nice and high, and make sure I'm speaking to everybody's notes, so it just makes it easier to hear me. So I try and find everyone who's here and make it possible that you can all hear me and connect with me nice and easily. All right, so then, I don't know about you, but this old life, right, does very much feel like school. It very much feels like I am learning one lesson after another. And of course, I'm not the only one that said that. There's been many spiritual teachers, many leaders over the years that have likened being alive to like being in a big old school. And that part of Thank you. Thank you, Vivian. You're always so supportive. Yeah, Vivian says I'm doing great. So if Vivian says I'm doing great, it must be true. But yeah, that we are, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to grab my little grounding stone, making sure I stay nice and grounded. But yeah, that being alive is like being in school. And so that each of us, when we said yes to becoming in human form for this lifetime, we signed up for a bunch of lessons that we wanted to learn in this lifetime. And because we have all these lessons that we want to learn, in turn, we get a guide. We get a someone, a something, an energetic being, an aspect of spirit that is in charge of our learning. And so that being is our main guide, our head guide. And so you might step back and think, right, like around what that brings up for you when you think about life and being alive and all the lessons you've learned and all the things that have changed and evolved as you've been here. Whether it might be what it's like to be someone's child, right? What it's like to be someone's parent. Yeah, you can think about the themes in your life, whether the themes are all around unconditional love. We were talking yesterday with Kelly about those people who seem to have the themes of healing and being a healer. And perhaps though that's a through line of the lessons you're here to learn in this school. And so, if anyone wants to share in the comments what they think are some of the ongoing themes and ongoing threads of learning that have been present for them in this lifetime, I'd welcome any of those. Definitely, I was sharing yesterday that one of my big themes in this lifetime has been learning around comfort around being seen and comfort around public speaking and talking in public. That's definitely something that's been on this life path and part of the education I've been getting in this lifetime. So to think about what might be true for you. Oh, and thanks for sharing, Jeffrey. Yeah, learning about love. And I'm curious for you, Jeffrey, is there a particular flavor of love? Is that like unconditional love? Or for some people, it can be learning to receive love, right? And actually accept love. And so what's really unique about this main spirit guide is, they have been on board from the beginning, right? Like they've been on board from the beginning. They understand what you've signed up for, and they understand what it is that you are attempting to learn in this lifetime. So they are in charge. They are, they're the ones that are just overseeing what it means for you to get what you came for, right? To learn those lessons. So what's really also fascinating is that the way that I've worked with spirit guides and the way that they've shown up with the people that I've come across is that we have that main head guide who's sort of the overseer of our curriculum in the School of Life. And then we have these other guides that tend to come in and out. And they come in and out depending on the lessons that we are learning at the moment. So for example, I definitely have an individual spirit guide that's helping me with the learning around this show and what it means to do something publicly like this, to share information and speak publicly. I definitely have a guide that's come on in for this part of my journey. I didn't need them when I was 5, right? Like I didn't need them in the same way that I need them now. So they tend to rotate in and out for those purposes, versus this main guide who is overseeing the entire curriculum and the entire scope of what I'm up to. Let me just see. Oh gosh, you know what, Dale? Dale asked a question. How can I comment like I am seeing on your screen and not in the YouTube chat? I don't know exactly what you're talking about, because I'll just tell you, Dale, what I see is I see everyone. So I see the comments, they combine. It pulls comments from YouTube and it pulls comments from Facebook. So I'm seeing both. So I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but perhaps if you ask that question. Okay, Sacred Spiral did come in. There are multiple YouTube chats through Sacred Spiral Network and from my own presence. Excellent. So it looks like everyone's working that through. Everyone's working that through in the comments. So I hope that's okay. And I will also say, where's Jeffrey? Jeffrey commented that one of the things that he's learning about is being and abiding in love at all times. How beautiful, Jeffrey. And I will just say, from what I know about you, that very much reflects, right? Like that very much reflects what I've witnessed about you. So our main guides also help us remember who we really are. They also help like gently guide us back when we've wandered astray. They're very much in the background celebrating our successes and cheering us on. And they do tend to be a little bit more focused on our long-term growth and development versus those individual guides that come in for a period of time and work for a period of time and help us out with different phases of our lives. Oh, Bernadette, great job. I wonder who my main guide is. They're mysterious. You are exactly right. And stick around because that's exactly what I'm hoping through the visualization that you'll get a better understanding and get a deeper relationship with your main guide. Because of course, the truth is that all of us have been interacting with them already, right? Like all of us are in communication and contact, but I'm hoping through today's visualization and what we're up to today that you'll actually gain some more clarity on how that's working for your system. Yeah. So when I am doing readings for people, what's really great about main guides is they actually feel different than the other spiritual beings that I come across, right? So for example, angels feel really light and ethereal, and there's just a very expansive light quality to them, versus guides have this substantial presence. I'll normally feel them come in a bit like a weight. It's almost like I feel angels up above me and the slightness, or I'll see them appear as a light, and then it's like I feel this weight come in behind me, and that's part of the experience I have of knowing, like, oh, I've got a guide. They feel heavy, they feel dense, there's this powerful energy. And then I'll say when I get a loved one in or a human in, they feel even more dense and substantial in the 3D realm. And so that is how they feel different when they come in from when they come in, what they feel like to me. I've got some notes written, so you might see me taking a quick peek at my notes. They have this feeling of quiet confidence to them, right? Like they don't come in and demand attention. They don't come in and be like, me, right? There's this very subtle, quiet confidence to them in the way that their energy comes in. So I think that'll also be interesting today when you're listening to the visualization, that you'll get a chance to see how they feel for you as well. Let's see. Bernadette says, a spirit was very close to my face while I was sleeping. Wonder if it was one of them because I was not doing well. Bernadette, I'm getting 100% yes, right? Like 100% that was one of your guides. Even just coming in and making sure that you were not alone, that you have them there working with them. They're there working with you. So absolutely, I'm getting a big yes that was one of your guides working with you and letting you know that they're nearby. Yeah. Excellent. So, welcome. Hello, Maggie. I'm seeing Maggie in the comments. It's so good to have you here. It's been a while. Love you, Maggie. Welcome, Kath. Welcome, Kelly Ann. A lot of times, our guides are just energetic beings, but when I pull in guides for other people, in order for them to connect and make it easier for us to connect, they might come as a character or an archetype. So they come in to make it easier for us to connect with them. And so some of the different archetypes that have stepped forward are like the, so good to see you, like the chairman of the board. Right? So they come in with that CEO energy, that chairman of the board, right? So if we were thinking also around education, they're not going to come in as the teacher, they're going to come in as the principal, right? Or they might even come in as, the one in charge of the board of education, or if it's like university, they're not coming in as one of the professors, they're coming in as like the dean. And so they've got that kind of energy. For one person I read for, she wasn't Italian, but she had a connection to Italian culture. And so hers came in like a mafia boss, right? Like, the mafia boss that just sort of sits quietly in the corner, but still is orchestrating all of the activity and oversees everything. For somebody else, I had a head guide come in like Charlie and Charlie's Angels, right? That mysterious voice on the other end of the speaker. And you kind of don't know who Charlie is, but you know that Charlie is all seeing and all knowing and is orchestrating behind the scenes. So I hope that gives you some of the idea of, who this, that kind of character archetype. Every so often, too, depending on the person, I will sometimes get a main guide that comes in just strictly like mountain energy. It's like I feel this big mountain come through, and within that mountain, I'll feel a personality. It'll sometimes feel a little male or a little female, but it's really helpful with that mountain energy for people to understand just how big and just how substantial and just how powerful this main guide is. And a lot of times these main guides are not chatty. They are just more of that strong, silent type. So it's all really, really fun and interesting to see how they show up and see how they're going to show up for you today. Hi, Glenda. Welcome. So good to have you here. So there's a whole bunch of other archetypes that might be meaningful for you, that might show up for you today, like the wise elder. Maybe one of them might show up like a king or a queen, that spiritual counselor, or even depending on your connection to like the Akashic records, there might be like this head librarian. So to think for yourself, maybe one of these resonates with you, or think of your own, but to know when we go into the visualization today, hopefully we'll get a little bit more information around what your main guide, comes in as. Some common misconceptions, right? Common misconceptions are because it's a main guide that they're going to have this big booming voice, or they're going to be dramatic, or they're going to be giving you dramatic visions, or it's going to be some sort of like movie-like encounter. And for you to know that's not always the case, right? It's actually just the opposite for most people, that they tend to be a lot more subtle. And it tends to be a bit more of a subdued encounter. They are not as dramatic and showy as some of the other members of our team. So that also is, a great time to remember any of those preconceived notions of what they might be like, to not only release them, but also to release the pressure on yourself around getting to know them or being in touch with them. That there's no wrong way to be with your guide. There's no wrong way and there's no right way to be with your guide. Because we all have different abilities. We all have different relationships to our intuition. So some people hear them, some people see them, some people feel them, or some people just have that sense of inner knowing, right? There's all those different ways that our individual clairs, our different ways of connecting to our intuition or connecting to our guides show up. So there's no right way or wrong way to do it. And I really very much would love for you just to remember to release the pressure to have it feel or seem like a particular thing, or go a particular way. Along those lines, they tend to, more guide versus control. So this is not a situation where they're the puppet master and we're the puppets and they're controlling our lives. It's very more gentle and backseat. I'd love to say backseat driver, but backseat driver actually implies being in control. So it's very much this, giving you a lot of space and freedom to do things your way. Free will is always respected, that you do have your own sense of free will. And great question, Vivian. Do our guides grow with us? Yeah, they do, right? And the reason that this is true, or my experience of this has been true, is that idea that we are all always constantly evolving, right? That consciousness is always evolving, Consciousness is always progressing. And so even though they are in charge of our growth and development, and they are extremely wise beings, that as we grow and we continue to evolve, and as a result grow and develop consciousness as a whole and our abilities as a whole, that our guides get the benefit of all that growth and development too. So their consciousness, the consciousness as a whole, continues to evolve and grow. Oh, you're so welcome. You're so welcome, Vivian. Maggie asks, can a guide be one of our loved ones or typically not? Maggie, I'll say it's not typical, right? Like it's not typical, but especially for our head guide, it's not typical. But what I've come across is that sometimes our guides are loved ones that we have known in a previous lifetime. Right? So our loved ones that we've known in this lifetime can still show up and be on our guidance team and just be permanently like, oh yeah, I'm one of your ancestors. I'm one of your loved ones. I'm always contributing to your team, but they might not formally be in that role of guide. But the exception is every so often we will come across one of those really evolved beings in our lifetime. And then you're absolutely right. They might step into a role as our guide, or it's someone that we knew in a previous lifetime who stepped into that role. So there is that close relationship as a loved one from a different experience. Typically not, but of course I would never say never, and I would never say it's always one way. But what I've come across is most of the times that they are beings that have either not been incarnated, or if they were incarnated, that they've spent many lifetimes and then been on that track to become a guide, and we might have known them in a previous lifetime. Maggie, yes, from a previous lifetime is what I'm asking. Spot on. You got it. That's exactly right. I think the other important thing to know is with our main guides, right, and this gentle guidance that they're giving us, is they can't live our lives for us, right? Like we still have to be the one that's going through all of these experiences and going through these experiences. But like Vivian said, that relationship can grow and evolve. And I will say in my case, to know that we are in communication and working with them, but sometimes there can be some things that get in the way of us understanding that we're in communication with them, right? It's can sometimes just boil down to presence and being present and grounded. We have busy lives, we're stressed, we experience self-doubt. All of those things can get in the way of us clearly hearing the messages from them. And so sometimes it's just a matter of a simple adjustment or a different way of looking for them in a different place. And I think in my particular case, and this is another thing I recommend that you do, is it can be harder to hear messages, or at least I find harder to hear messages about myself in my own life than to hear messages for other people. So when I first began this work, it was me getting these big downloads and big bits of information for other people. And then I would ask my own guidance team and I would be like, don't worry about it. Or you're fine, Shannon. Or, oh yeah, whatever, you're doing great. Just keep going. And I had to have a conversation where I was like, look, if I'm going to be doing this work with other people, I'm going to need more information. I'm going to need a clearer channel of communication with all of you than what I've got. It's not fair that I'm not able to hear you as clearly for myself as I am to hear other people's guides and other people's information. So I also recommend that you make that request. Ask for what you need, because these relationships can be adjusted and they can become more clear and in a way that you can receive the information. So you're right, Carol. We need to actually be open to listening to our guide. And sometimes we're just not. If we're stressed, if we're busy, if we have difficulty just being present and receiving the symbols, the energy, however it is they're communicating with us. And you're absolutely right, Vivian, that sometimes it can be a matter of not only being present, but asking them to be more clear and making it more apparent when they're trying to get in touch and work with us, so that we can catch those signals and start to more clearly attune and hone in on not only what they're saying, but how they're saying it. All right. So with that, Yeah, I'll just give a moment and see if there's any more questions before we go into the next thing, the next piece of things. Um, Labyrinthian criterion. What do you think happens when we have a really good relationship with our guides and then we stop? Great question. Great question. And I've seen this happen with a lot of spiritual people. And I think the very first thing to remember, what I've experienced, what I've seen, is that number one is that I don't know if you remember the old footprints, the old poem Footprints. It's a religious poem, but it's the whole idea that there's, for a period of time one set of footprints, and then during a period of time there's two, and that the person who writes the poem talks about how during that one set of footprints are all the difficult parts of life. And so the person who's in the poem talks about how come you weren't with me during those difficult moments in life? And then the response is, oh, Liz, oh gosh, that's when I was carrying you. And so I think the number one thing to remember is that our guides are with us, and that our guides don't ever leave us. So number one, that they're there and they're still working with us. Number two is that when a relationship with our guides feels like it goes south, it's often because we have an adjustment that needs to happen, right? Like that we have an adjustment, we have a lesson that we're learning, we have a way in which we are not actually in alignment with what we're in alignment with the relationship or what we're asking for or what we're wanting. And so it's one of those opportunities for adjustments, a new way of thinking about things, a new way of engaging with them. And it can be really devastating and tricky and awful when things like that happen. But often it's that internal adjustment that needs to happen around how we work with them. I'll give you an example. One of those examples is when I first started working with my guides, I do all the classics, right? Like I'd go looking for the parking space and I'd be like, oh, hey, where's a parking space? And then here in Oakland, it can sometimes take longer to feed the meter than actually just running in and out of the store. And so I'd ask, right? Like, hey, do I need to feed the meter? Do I need to, or can I just run in and get what I need? Is there going to be someone who gives me a parking ticket? And so in the very beginning, I was getting all sorts of information from them. And one day it stopped. And it stopped because there was this adjustment that I needed to make, where I needed to go from asking them what was going to happen and how it was going to be into then deciding how it was going to be. So they made themselves known, but then they got quiet because they wanted me to show up and say, you know what, today I'm feeling good. I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to get a parking ticket. I got this, right? They wanted me to be the one who was calling the shots and being more of a creator of my own reality versus asking them every single time. And so it was that little shift and adjustment that felt like a little wonky in the beginning in terms of my relationship with them. And so that is where I generally point people, is getting into the specifics of their situation. And often there's a slight adjustment in the relationship with them, or the way of working with them, or the way of engaging them that needs to happen to then get back on a good track. I hope that helps, Labyrinthian Criterion. And I'm happy if there's any specifics. I'm happy to problem solve through it. Jennifer McCormick says Footprints is her favorite poem. And Jennifer says, I have a mix of guides. Some of them I know and connect with, and many I'm yet to meet. Early on in my development, I met my guide, Margaret. She's been with me for many lifetimes. I have family members who guide me daily, and archangels Michael, Metatron, Gabriel, and Raphael. Oh my gosh, Jennifer, what's really cool is those are the main archangels that I work with as well. And it was not a rational choice. They're the ones that just have shown up for me, but those are spot on, the exact ones that I work with mainly as well. All right. So with that, we are going to transition. We are going to start off with doing a grounding exercise, getting everyone ready to receive the energetic transmission that comes afterward. And that'll probably take about 15 minutes in total. And once we do that, we will then move into the guided visualization, which will take about 10 minutes, where you'll get to meet up with your own made guide and see what we can learn. Excellent. I'm just taking a quick peek to see if there's anything I've missed. All right. Well, welcome everyone that has shown up as I've been chattering away. I think I'm seeing Buddy. Welcome, Buddy. I'm seeing you as well. All right. Oh, yes. All right. So settling in for our grounding exercise. And as you settle into this grounding exercise, beginning by noticing your butt in the chair, noticing your back in the seat. I'm even going to sit back. I have a tendency to sit forward. Noticing your back in the seat, noticing your feet on the ground or tucked in underneath you. If you're like me, I like to sit cross-legged. But just noticing all those points of contact in your body as a way to be in your body. And then noticing your bones. Because when you're in your bones, you're in your body. Your bones are where essence meets form. You're with yourself when you're in your bones. Noticing first your spine. Being in your spine. Being in your spine from all the places it meets you, beginning at your neck and in your spine all the way down through your upper back, down through your mid back, and lower back. When you're in your bones, you're in your body. Taking this moment to be in your arm bones, upper arm, lower arm, all of your fingers. Being in your leg bones, upper leg, lower leg, feet bones, down to your toes. Being in the bones of your head and your skull, all the different plates in your jaw. Being in your rib bones, your sternum, your shoulder bones, your shoulder blades, your collarbones. And perhaps taking a moment to notice any other bones that weren't acknowledged but feel important to put your attention on and let your awareness and your presence inhabit. And then one more time, going back to your spine, taking your attention all the way down your spine, beginning with your neck, all the way down through your upper back, your mid back, and your lower back, all the way down to your tailbone. And noticing that tailbone magically turns into a tail. And that tail travels all the way down to the center of the earth, where it finds something interesting. A crystal, a rock, a piece of treasure, and it wraps itself around that interesting object down at the center of the earth. In addition to that tail, noticing roots growing out of the bottom of your feet. And those roots go down into the earth. And as deep as that tail goes, as far and wide do those roots travel. So you're connected to the center of the earth, to the earth itself through those roots. And you're also in your bones. As this is occurring, you also call back in your sparkle. We take this opportunity to call back in your sparkle, right? Think about all the places you might have been today or the people you might have spoken to, either today or in the days previous, and maybe you deposited a little bit of your sparkle with others or in other places, and just gathering it up and calling yourself back home, calling back in your sparkle. And as you're calling back in your sparkle, you might notice that you've gathered up someone else's sparkle and maybe it's not so sparkly. And so taking this opportunity to return to sender, send it back where it came from. Any of this not me, any of these bits and pieces that are not you or don't serve you, sending it back. You can have an imaginary broom and sweep it off and sweep it away. You can imagine a big vacuum cleaner that comes and sucks it off. Maybe if there's a piece that's a little bit heavier, I sometimes imagine a catapult, and that catapult just hucking it back to where it belongs. But simply asking that your system on its own continues to call back in its sparkle and release anything that is not your sparkle. And now we take the opportunity to notice our own energetic space. Our own energetic space extends about an arm's length distance all around us. It's like our own personal little snow globe. And this personal little snow globe defines what gets to be our own energetic space. So sometimes it can make it easier to sense that snow globe, our own energetic snow globe, our own energetic boundary around us by giving it some texture. Maybe it's soft and fuzzy. Maybe it's sleek and shiny. Maybe it's got, depending on how spicy you are, maybe it's got some little porcupine pricklies on the outside, but not being afraid to give that snow globe around you some texture. And inside it, decorating it so it's nice and comfortable for your system. Maybe you want to put in a lounge chair, nice little lazy boy, put your feet up, or perhaps you want to bring some nature inside. Mine's got a waterfall and some trees. Yeah, so whatever it makes the inside of your little personal energetic snow globe, your energetic inside your own energetic boundary and your own energetic space, whatever makes it nice and hospitable for you and your system. So now that we've got all of these different pieces and elements, it gets us set up nicely for the energetic transmission. And so I'm going to remind you, you're in your bones. Through your tail, you're connected to the center of the earth. Through your roots, you are connected to the earth energy far and wide. You've got all of your sparkle called back in. You've released any not me that's not yours that you've picked up along the way. And you're aware of your own energetic boundary, your own personal snow globe as your own energetic space. All right, that feels good. I am going to talk you through the next part of the process, which is the energetic transmission. This will also last for a few minutes. And what I am going to do is I am going to put together an energetic ball of information. Everything is just energy. And so I'm going to put together this energetic ball of information. And this information is going to be what my system knows about sensing and working with main guides, the head honcho, main character guides. It's also going to be contributed to by all of your guides around what they want you to know about working with them. And so once I put this energetic ball together, I'm simply going to invite you to receive the energetic information that my system is sharing. If it feels right for you, you can, the easiest thing to do is almost put your hands right up to the screen and let yourself receive through your hands, just like you're receiving a present. And for those of you that do have energetic practices, to know that this is a held energetic space. There is a container in place, and to know that as part of the energetic container that is in place around this process, that part of the instructions is that everyone gets exactly what they need. No more, no less. So information for each individual who is here today in exactly the right way for their person, their system, and what they need to know. So let me go ahead and put this energetic ball together. Oh, it's a good one. And that's, I'm still working with it right down here. All right. I'm just letting that energy build. Making sure I'm broadbanding so everyone can feel it easily. Getting the high notes and the low notes. All right. I'm going to visually hold it up to the screen so you can see my hands. It's a little bit bigger, but I want to make sure you can see my hands. And inviting you to simply receive. For most people, it's easiest through their hands, like you would a package, and simply let the energy be received by your system through your hands. Allowing your hands to go up. Notice the energy ball. And simply receive. You might notice a tingle. You might simply just notice a charge. But simply letting your system receive the energetic information that my system knows about being in contact with our guides, and the information that your guides have put into the energy ball to help you and your systems be able to be more in touch with them. All right, final few seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and the final few seconds, just relaxing. 2, 1, transmission complete. So simply taking a moment, I'm gonna discharge this energy ball. Simply letting your systems receive. I don't know if you can notice, they're busy digesting right now. So you've got a lot of good digesting going on at the moment as your systems are, being present with the energy, acclimating to the energy. And as your systems do that, taking a moment to get yourself ready for the visualization. The visualization is going to be about 10 minutes long. I am going to be reading from a script. We're going to see what happens, because last time when I was reading the visualization, I froze. So I have a printed copy here, which is doesn't look quite as good as when I can read it from a screen. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to see if I freeze up again or if I need to read it from the script. So I'll be paying attention. But yeah, for most people, they enjoy being in a comfortable position. They enjoy either lying down, to either lie down, or to, if you're comfortable meditating, to sit in a meditative position. To simply get yourself comfortable and perhaps grab a notebook and a pen if you want to take any notes. And as for all the people that just arrived, welcome. It's so good to have you here. We were just doing an energetic transmission and we're getting ready to do a visualization. Kels, what? What is all this sneezing? I think your guide has a little bit of a sense of humor, as a matter of fact. I actually think some of this sneezing is a really blatant way for your guide to be getting your attention. So anyway, I think I'm really curious what comes up for you for the visualization and what this sneezing is connected to. But yeah, this is a really bold attempt to get your attention. And Maria, it's good to have you here. I am not doing readings just yet. We're going to be doing some readings at the very end, but most often those readings are going to be based on the information that people got from their guides and connecting people from their guides. So go ahead and get ready for the visualization, everyone. And then we'll do messages at the very end. Welcome, Presh. Welcome, December. Welcome, Kimmy. Welcome, everyone else. Welcome everyone else who's shown up while we were on break doing the energetic transmission. All right, I'm going to switch screens. I'm going to see if I freeze up again, and I'll be back in a second to check, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. All right, so I'm talking now. Can you please tell me in the comments, Kelly or anyone else, can you please tell me if I just froze up? What do we say? All right. I am going to take that as a good sign. That's excellent. All right, we're going to give it a go. We'll see what happens. Fantastic. That'll work better than me holding up a script. Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. I appreciate the feedback. All right, this is our main guide visualization. This is a guided visualization to connect you with your primary spirit guide, the guide who is with you throughout your entire life and is the member of your guidance team responsible for overseeing your journey through the school of life. They hold the broader perspective on your overall path and the lessons, experiences, and opportunity that support your soul's growth. In this experience, you're not creating a connection from scratch, but instead you are inviting an even deeper relationship and allowing it to become more clear, more connected, and more interactive. So if you haven't already, find a comfortable position, sitting or lying down, and allowing your hands to rest easily. If it feels right, allow your eyes to close. If it feels good, gently roll your shoulders back and let them soften. Take a slow breath in through your nose. And on your exhale, let yourself relax. Breathing in, breathing out, and more relaxing. Perhaps you feel your body beginning to settle. Another slow breath in, and each exhale simply allows more tension to release. One more deep breath, and as you breathe out, feel yourself dropping even deeper into stillness. Your body relaxed, your mind quiet, your awareness open. And as you continue to relax, imagine you are stepping out of the everyday world and you're stepping into a space created just for you. Safe and deeply supportive. As you relax, allow your imagination to take you to a safe place that feels peaceful and welcoming. Just make it up, sense it, or see it, or perhaps you might notice the words that describe it. But whatever comes to you is just fine. This might be a place in nature or a place that exists only for you. But whatever it is, just allow it to form naturally. Notice, what is the air like around you? Take in the colors, the textures, the light. What are the sounds here? What are the words that describe this place? Or perhaps you are just simply feeling the feeling of being held in stillness. This is a place where communication between worlds just gets to feel natural. Allow yourself a few moments to simply be here. In the distance, you notice a pathway. You begin walking toward it. Each step on this pathway helps you become even more present, even more receptive, and deeper within yourself. As you continue along this path, you sense a presence. It's familiar, and there's a sense of excitement in the air. It's as if someone who has always known you is nearby. You might feel a shift in the atmosphere, or a feeling in your body, or a sense of warmth, or comfort, or love, or just even simply a sense of heightened awareness. Take a moment to notice what you experience. How does the space around you feel? What do you notice? How does your body respond? No need to figure anything out yet. Just simply allow yourself to become aware of their presence. Your primary spirit guide is already here, already connected to you, already aware of you, and simply waiting to be noticed. They're excited to be here with you too. As your guide comes into clearer awareness, take a moment to observe. What do they look like? What do you notice about them? What is their energy or presence like? What's it like being around them? Take a breath. You are safe together, and this connection already exists. Now, find a place to have a conversation with your guide. You might want to sit down, go for a walk, or look out at the view together. When you are ready, ask your guide the following questions and then listen carefully for their responses, however they arrive. When you're ready, ask your guide, "My guide, what would you like me to know about you?" "Guide, what lesson am I currently being invited to learn?" "My guide, what have I already mastered that I don't fully recognize?" "My guide, what challenge in my life is serving my growth right now?" "My guide, where am I making things harder than they need to be?" "My guide, what is the next step in my learning?" "Guide, how can I connect easily with you?" And lastly, my guide, what is your name? Thank your guide. And as you thank them, notice they offer you something. It's a gift, something to help you strengthen your connection to them moving forward. Notice what is being given to you. Receive their gift. What is it? What does it represent? Ask them, what do you want me to know about this gift? This gift is something you can return to, a bridge between you and your guide in your daily life. In the coming days, your guide may also offer you a sign, something that will appear in your life as a reminder of their presence. Take a moment to ask your guide to provide you with that sign. Now take a moment to thank your guide. This relationship does not end when this visualization ends. Your head spirit guide remains with you, accessible, supportive, and present. The more attention you bring to the relationship, the stronger your awareness of it becomes. Take one final moment with your guide, perhaps asking them to make it easier to be in touch with them and to understand their guidance and wisdom. And when you are ready, begin making your way back along the path. The space gently softens around you. The experience settling into your heart, your body, and your awareness. Taking a deep breath in and exhaling slowly. Returning to this space and this time. Feeling the surface beneath you. Noticing your body. Wiggling your fingers and toes. And gently bringing yourself back into the room. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back. That was great, everyone. Welcome everyone who has just shown up. Joey, Jean. How was that for everyone? Oh, you're so welcome, Jennifer. You're so welcome. Kels, I felt very shaky and couldn't tune in properly. Oh, that's interesting, Kels. I'm sorry to hear that. And to know that this will all be available for replay so that you can always go back in a second time, a third time, and re-listen to the show and re-listen to the visualizations. At some point, what I want to do is make the visualizations available separately so people can go in and just listen to the visualization to the member of their team that they're most interested in getting that connection and deepening that connection to. Vivian, you are so welcome. I'm so glad. Yeah. And Kel's saying that at the very end you feel light like a cloud. Well, that's great. Even though you felt shaky, I'm still glad, I don't know, those of us that grew up with Care Bears that imagined being able to cruise along on clouds. So I'm glad to hear it wasn't completely unpleasant. And Labyrinth Corinthian is saying it's felt soothing. And that holistic harmonies was far, far away. Hi, Tanya. And thank you, Gregory, for placing gratitude lights in the center. You're so welcome, Kweezy. I am so glad I could be the vehicle for the message from your dad. He came in really large and powerfully, right? He did a great job of getting my attention and making sure that you got that message today. I fully admit that was all him, and he showed up big time for you. I think with Father's Day being tomorrow, he really wanted to make sure that you were aware that he is here with you right now. Dominic, welcome. So good to see you. Yeah, and so I'm curious if anyone has anything to share about their guide. Any surprises, any good gifts? I'll take what you've got. But I'm curious if anyone had any insights or got any good information from their guide. And I do know too, sometimes people aren't in the right spot to actually be able to do the visualization, that they get to listen, but can't necessarily participate. Jeffrey, handful of lights. Interesting. Now, was that handful of lights something that you saw? Was that the gift that you were given? I'm curious what that handful of lights, is connected to. Oh, little fires. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, little fires, handful of lights. Very good. All right, and if Bernadette, you're still around, I know you were saying that you really wanted to connect with your guide today. I'm really curious. Excellent. Now, Yeah, Jeffrey, were these little fires part of the gift, or was this just part of the visualization? I'm curious. And I will ask you also, Jeffrey, if you have an existing relationship with your hi Joey. Yeah, Jeffrey, if you have an existing relationship with your head guide already. Because I will tell you, these are offerings from my hands to spirit. Very good. Um, Lovely. Lovely, lovely. Jeffrey, I don't know if you have an existing relationship with your head guide, but I want you to know that your main guide is coming through right now, very much like a Merlin the Wizard, Merlin the Wizard character, right? Like I'm seeing that's how I am seeing his energy and presence, and that I very much get that he, in terms of in general, the love of learning of this wizard category, right? Like that, his spirit is very much that enjoyment of the mystery of being alive, very much that delight in alchemy and the parts of existence that are magical and mysterious and beyond the logical. And so Jeffrey, I get his sense of delight and play and love of not only being your main guide, but getting to play with these magic and mystery with you. When that great question we had earlier about do our guides continue to grow and develop as we do, right? It's almost like this main guide of yours, that reciprocal relationship that as you grow and develop and step more into the mystery, that your guide is right there with you, growing and develop and stepping into that mystery. He's very much like this proud papa energy, where he gets to just stand back and give you more material, more opportunity to learn, and you're off to the races. So Jeffrey, this head guide feeling of yours just being this wise Merlin character who delights in your spirit of curiosity and all of the magic that you both have access to. Cal says, love to know who my guide is. They were very quiet. I felt like I was floating. It was a beautiful field. Oh, I'm glad you got a sense of what they feel like. I think this is a really great example, Kels, is sometimes the way that our intuition works, right? We might not always see them. We might not always hear them, but sometimes we get this really great sense of what their presence can feel like. And so I love that you're getting this sense of what your main guide feels like, that they're quiet, that your system feels like it's floating, right? That sensation of being on the cloud. And it was this sense of beauty. That is a really great start in building the connection with the felt sense of your guide, right? Because I talk about in general, I know when someone else's main guide shows up in that big, powerful presence behind me, your individual guide has this distinct feeling in your system. And so now you can start cultivating that experience of being present with them. So this is a beautiful beginning, Kels. You are right on track. And to keep working with this sensation and telling them that you want your sign this week and that you want to be continuing to develop that sense of peace and presence to other ways of communicating and being in touch. So that's a really, really great place to start. Jean, you're saying I met with a female who looked very similar to Kuan Yin. Oh, and she gave me a gift similar to an instant burner. She placed a lot of energy in my heart area, which was the core of gold, and I think called herself Leanne. Jean, Jean, what a really beautiful connection that you built there. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I'm getting a little swept away because I'm so excited by this. And interesting, Leanne, beautiful. And this Kuan Yin, what a gorgeous goddess ascended master, right? To be giving you this archetype to work with. And there's so much richness in the way that she showed up that gives us such a great shortcut to who she is, how she operates, a way to connect with her. Really beautiful. My request for you is to symbolically give yourself a gift similar to that instant burner, right? So that whether it's having a picture of it or going and getting it for yourself, so being able to build up with yourself a connection to that instant, to that gift that she gave you, right? That's a great way to begin to communicate with her and remind yourself of that connection with you. And yeah, to yet also look for that, to look for that, that sign from her this week. I also get a sense of love, kindness, right? The pure delight that she has in working with you. What she's showing me right now is I'm feeling a lot of substance around a big lesson that you're going through right now, right? Like every so often I'll get a sensation of life just being light and easy and being in the flow. And she's giving me the sensation that you're actually working on a big piece of learning. And I'm hearing the word challenge that goes along with this piece of learning. It makes me feel like you're in it right now, Jean, right? Like that you're in it, that you are very much, in class right now, that there is a lesson that is being tackled and worked with. And so the fact that she's showing up powerfully for you is for you to know that she is with you, that this challenge that you're working through is on your path, right? Like it is something that you signed up for. It is directly on your path. And she wants you to be reminded that like you will not be here forever, right? Like that you will not be here forever. She's also making sure that you know that, ooh, I'm feeling this one deeply. It's almost with tears, that the thing that you're learning, the thing that you're working through right now is not because you've done anything wrong. There's nothing that you have done wrong. As I'm getting just a little bit of sadness around this, you've not done anything wrong. Things have not gone wrong. In fact, instead, it's helping you see even more clearly just your ability to shine, your ability to rise above. And I'm also hearing that you're going to help a lot of people in as a result of the lessons and what you're learning right now, that there's some deep wisdom that's being gotten to from this whole experience. I think that's part of the reason you got all that gold in your heart, that like, oh gosh, no, there's some alchemy that's going on. There's some different kinds of transformation that's going on within your heart. Yeah, but she's just saying you're on the right track to keep going. She's with you. And so I'm so glad she showed up for you so powerfully. Yeah, and I'm hearing something around health. So I'm not sure if this has something to do with health with yourself or a loved one, but something around health. I'm trying to see if I'm trying to hear if she's saying health or help. No, she's saying health. So yeah. All right. Dolores is saying, my guide would not show himself either, but I sensed a male. Oh, Dolores. And yeah, excellent. I'm really glad that you got this this male presence. What I am feeling with him is I'm feeling the male presence of I'm feeling a male presence that goes along with it's very powerful. It's very, I'm looking for the right words to describe just the sensation of him that I'm getting. Yeah, very powerful. There's sort of like an exacting and a precision to him. Yeah, like that's feeling very exacting and precise. Like he's got high standards, right? There's something around high standards and the almost like if he was a human, and in the human round you'd be coming across him and you'd be like standing up straighter, right? And you would be making sure that you were on your game. Like there's something about rigor and precision and high standards, and and then with this twinge of love and adoration. Like he has high standards for you. He has high standards for what you're learning and what you're experiencing in service of you and in service of the love for you. Let's see if I can get a little bit more around this. Oh. You know what he comes across like, Dolores? I don't know if you have a connection to sports, but he almost seems like he'd be the coach of like the coach of like an Olympic ice skater, right? He'd be like that coach of like the gymnastics team. He'd be that coach of the like where if you were in a sport, right? Where if you're an ice skater, you have to be precise, right? Like you have to be precise. You have to, do all those reps. You have to land on your skates just right? Like if you're that Olympian that you have to stick your dismount, you have to have just the right rotation in order to land on your feet and not get injured. And all of that precision, all of those high standards are so that you can be great, so you can meet your goals, so you can stay healthy, so you can be the best of the best. So that's the kind of image I get. That's the kind of sensation I get of your that's the kind of sensation I get around your guide, that he's that like high caliber, top of their game coach that would be like for Olympians. So I don't know how this resonates with you, but it's like that kind of standard, that kind of presence. That kind of presence, because he loves you so much, he is going to make sure that you're the best of the best, and that like you're getting the best of everything, right? You've got the best doctors to make sure you've got the best health. You've got the best, the best designer who's designing your outfits. So all of these other sub guides that are being brought in for all the different lessons that you're learning are also the best of the best. I will take this opportunity. I can't chat by the way this is set up, but I'm going to put it in the comments for Kelly, and maybe Kelly can throw it in. I actually, if anyone wants it, I'm going to take this opportunity to say that if I decided, I knew with the main guide that this can be a little bit trickier because their energy comes in a little bit more subtly, that the end of July, I'm going to offer an opportunity to work with me directly and do a separate class, right? We've only got a limited amount of time, and I'm trying to talk to people through comments, but it's going to be on Zoom. And if anyone wants the opportunity to work with me directly and be on Zoom and really get into who your main guide is, how they show up, I want to do a piece of like soul types so people can happen to learn more about like the lesson and life's purpose, because that life's purpose is also what's connected to our main guide. If anyone wants to learn more and work together to learn more about your guide and get more specifics and build that relationship, end of July, I believe, I have to look at the date. It's going to be an hour and a half on Zoom. Feel free. Hopefully Kelly might be able to put the link in the chat, but it's going to be Monday, July 27th at 9 a.m. Pacific, where we can all work together and get people even more closely connected with their main guide and work to meet with me, and we can get that set up. So if you get a second, Kelly, and can see in the private chat the link that I put in, unfortunately, I can't comment directly to this post to put it in. But that class on July 27th, Monday, July 27th at 9 o'clock Pacific, and we can work together to get you more connected to your main guide and work one-on-one. Dolores, you are so welcome. Vivian, yay! I know it would be so great to have you there. We'll see if Kelly can put it in the comments, because I can't. Let's see. Kelly, are you there? Can you put the link in the chat for the class if anyone wants to? There we go. Oh, it came out. There it is. Oh, you know what? With Shannon, I think the link got cut off there, Kelly. Because the HTTPS, the beginning of the link got cut off. I think the beginning of the link got cut off, Kelly. We'll try that again. I'm going to see if it works. I'm going to check on my end to see if it works. it does. All right, it still works. Very good. All right. Let's see what we got. Kelly Ann, awesome, fantastic. So it'd be great to have you there where we can work on this together. I will take a quick look at yours, Kelly Ann, and then I'll take a quick look at yours, and then we have to let Kelly go home because it's getting late. So, anyways, this is a lot of fun. I love getting to meet people's main guides. Yeah, Kelly Ann. All right. So, first question, Kelly Ann, were you able to do the visualization? Were you able to do the visualization, or are you just showing up? Yes. Okay, great. You were able to do the visualization. I will take that. I will tell you that your main guide that I am sensing, I'm sensing her as female. So I'm sensing her as female. I'm feeling very much I'm trying to discern if it's between big sister or maternal. No, maternal. So there's this very loving female maternal energy to her. And let's see what I can. Okay, she's saying that she would love it for you to come to the class. Yeah, she is larger than life. She's this very larger than life presence. Mm, oh, okay. Interesting. I don't know if you have a relationship with dance or theater, but she feels very much to me. I'm getting the sense of her of like the choreographer, right? Like the director of the show. The director, she's almost like, you have that old school when somebody is auditioning and they're auditioning and they're looking out into the audience, and they can't really see who they're auditioning for because they're almost dark and in the background. And so she's like that director in the background, because she's very talented. She can spot talent. She develops talent. And so there is that, yeah, that experience of her, yeah, just being this amazing director, right? So part of what she's directing is she's bringing in all these sub guides and directing the lessons, and she's a little bit behind the scenes. You can't really see her, but this powerful woman this powerful female energy, that loves working with you and loves developing you, almost like developing talent and making you the star of the show. So same thing where she might be bringing in a choreographer. She brings in the choreographer. She brings in the costume designer. She brings in the person, I can't think of the name, who creates the music for you to sing. But yeah, she's this really powerful director, Broadway almost style director, top of her game, Hollywood style director in the background, who is orchestrating all of the different people who are coming in to make you the star of your show, the star of your life. So yeah, I'm so curious how this resonates with you, Kellyanne. But yeah, she's really cool. I've never had someone come in like this at all. And okay, Vivian, last but not least, let's see what we get. And I'm happy to work with you offline a little bit, Vivian, as well, since I know I'm going long tonight. Ooh, I write books and maybe she could help. She absolutely can help, right? Like, talk about developing the talent and making sure that like you as the talent is getting everything you need. 100% she's here to help. So I love this. I love this for you. All right, Vivian. Mm. Ah, great. Ooh. All right. Mm. All right, Vivian, I am getting your oh, I'm also getting a wise female presence for you with one of your guides. You know what, Vivian? I'm going to do a little research for you and get back to you, because I'm getting the image of someone and I know it's an archetype. And I don't know. I don't have the language for what kind of archetype. So I'm going to follow up with you separately. But I know that she represents, whether either she's a goddess or an archetype within a particular lineage, but I need to do a little research to find out exactly who she is, because it's feeling like there's something precise and exact, and I don't have the language. Like I'm seeing something, but I don't know exactly what it is. So I'm going to follow up with you, Vivian. But she's got black hair, and I will find out and I will get back to you. You're so welcome, Vivian, but I want to make sure I get her correct, because there's something precise about this that I think that that who she is and who she's showing up with, and I'll know her when I see her. I just need to do a little bit of research on her. You are so welcome, everyone. Joey, thank you so much. I'm so glad you thought it was great. We come back here every month. I would love to see you at the class. If the class happens to work for you, we can also... Oh, sorry, Kelly. Thank you for letting me know. Kelly was just saying it took her a moment to be able to post the stuff in comments. And so, which is good learning for me, because I've never done something like that before. So anyway, thank you all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you could see this was such a lot of fun to me. And it really is. I really enjoy giving this gift of putting people in touch with their guides. They really want to be in touch with you. Go ahead and listen to the replay too. You can listen to the meditation as many times as you like. You can sometimes get different things each time you show up. But thank you all so much. I look forward to seeing you back next month. Yeah. And you too, Joey. Have a great night. Thanks so much for being here, Jeffrey. As always, thanks so much for being here, Jennifer Rose. Thank you for being here, Fran, my partners in crime. I've forgotten the last two shows. Thank you so much to our producer, the fabulous Kelly Brickle here at Sacred Spiral Network. If you are new here, please go ahead and like and subscribe. It really helps the channel. It helps us be able to help more people and give this gift to even more people. And as always, I never have any idea really how to end the show and say goodbye. So I'll just say, as usual, that's it. Cut it, Kelly. I'm done. Bye, everyone.